All right, we're live. Everybody, welcome back to the Adventure RX podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nick Anderson, physical therapist and skier by trade. Today we have on J Levinthal. He's a skier, entrepreneur, really one of the pioneers of what we think of modern freestyle skiing, one of the founders of Line Skis, creator of Full Tilt Boots, and now the proud owner of J Skis. Had a major role in shaping the design culture and marketing for freestyle skiing, into the future as well. Jay's an X Games medalist as well, and creator of some of the first ski boards and twin tips that we now know today. So, Jay, thank you so much, man. You're one of the GOATs in the industry, and I appreciate you taking your time today.
Thanks for the stoke.
Absolutely. Tell us more about why you started J Skis. It's a smaller brand. A lot of people may not have heard of J Skis. I think it's a dope brand. Tell us more about why and what J Skis is all about.
Yeah, so I've been making skis for 30 years now, but the fact is my mission has always been the same and remains. I just want people to have more fun skiing. It's really that simple. That's what I love about skiing, is just the fun of it, skiing for the fun of it. And so I'm just always been on a mission to make skis that enable that. And, we do quite a bit of different things, like this brand, my skis are all limited editions. So that means I build a limited quantity. I might build 100 or sometimes 300. Each one is hand signed and numbered. So you've got a one of a kind ski, like very few others, in the world. One of 200, two of 200, I sign and number those. And I collaborate. All the skis are collaborations with artists. So we work together with some really badass artists to create some sick graphics, and, not your typical graphics that you'd see on the shops. We also don't sell to shops. We don't sell through shops. We sell direct to you, the customer, from my hands to yours. So we just like to have that one-on-one relationship. We have customer service from 9 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week during the winter. You can reach out and talk to us. What ski to get, talk about anything skiing, help you in ways that other brands can't, or you can't even reach other brands a lot of times. And you also, with a ski company, who's behind it. It's me. So there's a real person, a real skier that's designing and marketing and selling you skis, directly from us to you. So it's quite a bit different than the traditional corporate business model of the past.
Yeah, I view it as skiers building skiers for skiers. Is
building skis for skiers. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Skiers building skis for skiers. Exactly.
Yeah.
Getting out of kind of that corporate light. When you say, making skiing more fun, explain that to someone that might not be around the competition scene, or even, I would imagine, some of these film crews, it becomes a little less fun as time goes and you're grinding, trying to get the footage. But explain what you mean with that.
Well, skiing is there's people that, people ski for all types of reasons, but at the end of the day, it really is to have more fun, whether it's fun competing or fun making videos or fun just going up to the hill and sliding around with no particular mission in mind. Skis haven't always enabled that to be easy. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, skis were all designed for Olympic downhill racers. And you just happen to be a person that wants to slide around your local hill, like a mellow trail, and you're on a 203 length, stiff, skinny, straight, square-tailed ski that's made for going 80 miles an hour and downhill in Europe, because that's where skiing's heritage came from. So my mission was enable skiers to do more on the skis with less effort. So it's the shape of the ski, it's the flex of the ski. Our skis have more flex, they have more shape, they conform to the terrain easier. You're not fighting the ski. Most people are working a desk job 5 days a week, and then they're like, let's go skiing. Maybe they go skiing once a week, or maybe they go skiing 1 week a year. The only way to get in shape for skiing, you're probably going to disagree, but I think, is to go skiing. So it's very hard, even with physical training, to be physically ready to go ski your ass off for the next 6 hours, right? So by 2:00, most people are fighting their skis, because those skis were designed for people with legs of steel and very good shape. And the people testing and telling the media that it's a good ski, like this is the best ski, those are people that are in extremely good shape for skiing. When you go out there, you're fighting the damn ski because you're not in shape for skiing. And I'm making skis that you don't have to fight. At 2 o'clock, when your legs are burned out, you don't feel too tired to continue going skiing. And it doesn't mean I'm making a weaker ski or a less performance oriented ski. I've got amazing pros riding these skis, hitting huge jumps, doing crazy cliffs, pow skiing, everything in between. But even they want a ski that's easier to ski because they're pushing their limits too, you know, and don't confuse easy or more fun with like lower performance in any way. It's a high performance ski, but the performance intended to make it enable you to do more on those skis with less effort at any level you're at.
I love that, and I will agree with you. I think the best way to build your trunks of steel is, just more mileage and more hours on skis. And I tell my patients, no matter what sport, when you're getting ready to return to whatever sport it is, there's that specificity of training, we call it. It's like, yeah, you can do your squats and your deadlifts and your cycling, your lunges, stretching, but it's still not skiing, right? It's still not soccer, it's still not volleyball, whatever the sport may be. But yeah, I agree. And my brother and I have been trying to figure out the best training methods over the last, I don't know, 2 decades. And I'm like, dude, I honestly think you got to ski more to get in better shape. I think that's the pinnacle of the preparation, right?
But don't get me wrong, working out is obviously better than not. You can definitely get a lot closer by doing things physically that even if it's not skiing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think with how many better ski options there are for people now,
Yeah.
including J skis with, having a more versatile index of choices. I really think you could say same with ski boots. It's probably driving down injury risk or injury rates. And I don't have the research to back this up. But like you're saying, if everyone's on a 2x4 that's, stiff as a board, they get fatigued by 1, 2 o'clock versus a ski that fits them better. You would think that, they're going to be able to, one, have more fun, but also reduce that injury risk, because that's when people are fatigued, that's when things can happen. I've been curious too with Full Tilt. So you were one of the line founders, and I've talked to a lot of the line guys. They're great. I've talked to Andy and LJ and Tom. They're all great dudes. With Full Tilt, how much input did you have in that design? Like, did you feel like the modern ski boot needed a bit of a change?
Yeah. So the reason so my involvement was K2 acquired Line, my brand that I started. So this is
Right.
like 13, this is, let's see, it was like 11 years into the business, they acquired it. I needed help basically, and K2 bought it, and I continued to work for K2 to run Line. And the first day I showed up at K2, they pulled me in an office and they go, the engineer and the owner and the president of the company, and they said, "Do you recognize this boot?" And it was the old Rakeley Flexon Comp, right? The black and yellow boot with the yellow tongue. I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to ski that totally." Like, well, we bought the molds for it. Like, we're talking, they bought 30-year-old molds. And they're like, "We want to bring this boot
Interesting.
back." And this boot is sought after, we know. It's got a cult following. Seth Morrison has stacks of them in the basement, all the pro mogul skiers, freestyle skiers. We want to bring this back. And the goal is to learn everything we can about being a boot company. And we want to get up to 20,000 boots. And at that point, we think we're going to know enough about the boot business where we can then make a K2 boot. And we'd like you to help bring this to market. And you don't have any additional budget. You don't have any additional people to do this. You would use your current Line crew. And so I said, "Hey, it sounds like a sick opportunity." I didn't get paid a dollar more for doing it, but now I had Line, and now I had to start Full Tilt. And they go, "We have this name, Full Tilt, trademarked. It's a wakeboard brand that we shut down years ago. So we're going to put
Okay.
that trademarked brand, Full Tilt, on this old Wrigley Flexon boot. Go make it happen." I'm like, sick. So I followed what I'm good at, which is brand positioning, and I felt it needed. It's the opportunity was, one, get them on all the pros that just wanted them and live by them. So you don't have to spend a ton of money to pay a pro to ride it. They just wanted it anyway. Two, graphic the hell out of it. Aesthetically make it look like no other boot on the market because it's an old boot. Let's not make it look like an old boot. So we just decorated it like crazy, made Seth Morrison pro models, wraparound graphics, all this crazy stuff. Did fabric tongues and straps that were like themed, and that's where how it went. That's the story of bringing Full Tilt to market.
Yeah, those white and red Wallace specials, man. Those were the ones. Those were the ones, man. Everybody wanted those.
Yeah, Nike Dunk looking things, and Seth did this military version. He did this crazy wraparound graphic. We sublimated the shell. We did stuff that, all the other boots were black, or if they were lame, they might have been pink.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a fun adventure. And sure enough, years later they did bring back the K2. They created the K2 boot. And then after that, I was long gone from that business when I started J, and they dissolved Full Tilt. It's such a shame, It was such a cult, badass following, such a unique brand in the ski industry, and they just moved that shell right under K2 brand. And
Me too. Yeah, man.
yeah, it's wild, but we built something special there. Everyone involved, all the athletes and engineers and marketing people. There's a lot of people involved, and a lot of people were really passionate about it to make that happen.
When you look at your experience with K2, what were some of the pros and cons that you took away then to get J skis up and running and successful?
So I left K2 just because I felt like I hit kind of a glass ceiling of what I was capable of, experience, learning and experience. I had learned a lot in the time working at a big public company like that, and I was like kind of anxious to try to do my own thing again because there were so many new ways to go about business, like with e-com and social media marketing and everything that really wasn't being, even selling direct to consumer was not being done in 2013 when I started J. Like no one was selling skis as a brand direct to consumer. So I was just like, in the graphics, I wanted the flexibility, the freedom. I knew I could make more margin, better profit selling direct to my customers instead of selling to a store. I can't make enough money selling to a store when I'm only selling a few thousand skis. Like I just couldn't sell to stores on my own. It didn't financially work. So I was like, hey, I could do it now with ecom. So that's why I broke off. What I learned over those previous, I think it was like 13 years, I learned what doesn't work and what does work. Mostly what doesn't work. And that's the most important thing is to fail fast. The faster you fail, the faster you learn what to do, or what not to do.
Yeah, I think I'm an entrepreneur myself, and there's certainly been a lot of learning over the past few years. It's different now, I think, than when you got going back in the day, just with AI and online and
Oh
social
yeah.
media marketing. If
Yeah.
if you had to give any advice to any kid, maybe it's not in the ski industry, but maybe it is, that want to get either a side hustle rolling, any advice you would throw? I know that's a massive question and pretty broad.
No, that's easy, man. I just say do what you love. Like if you like now I'm not saying, hey, I love skiing. How do I get paid to go skiing? Like that's
Right.
that's not a realistic job. But let's say you love teaching people. It's like, okay, go get a job teaching someone something. And then eventually it can evolve into the ski business in some way. Or let's say you love engineering. It's like if you graduate after 4 years, I get these emails probably once a week. Hey, I just graduated engineering. I love skiing. How do I go engineer skis? It's like, whoa, dude. Like you've
Yeah.
got the next 30 years of your life to get there. Let's take step one. Go get a job doing engineering of any sort, any product, anywhere for any amount of money. Just go get experience. And then you'll meet people, you'll learn things, you'll build your resume, and then you can start evolving that to get into a niche, which may not be making skis. Just because you love skiing doesn't mean you have to make skis as an engineer. You love skiing, you could go engineer, landscaping design for the freaking mountain. You can engineer hotels, you can engineer chairlifts, you can engineer a million things, the vehicles that get you from one resort to the other. Like there's all kinds of stuff, like you could be an accountant and work in the ski industry, not building skis, not making skis, not designing skis. You like skiing, but you are good at accounting. You like accounting. You went to school for accounting. Do accounting in the ski realm. There's tourism in skiing. There's everything. So, like, don't get so narrowed down that's like, hey, Jay, I know you make skis, and now I need to make skis because I love skiing and I just graduated with a degree in geology. You want geology? Go work at a mountain. Go work. There's things you can do in mountains, but like start anywhere that they'll give you the job and just figure, I'm going to have this job for the first 2 years. That's all I'm thinking about. Don't think about, oh my God, the rest of my life I have to work for this place. Like, No, dude, it's the first freaking job you're getting.
Yeah.
Just get some damn experience and you'll meet people and you'll have other opportunities. And eventually you'll be exactly where you want to get to.
Yeah, I think it's creativity too of if you love skiing, there's plenty of opportunity like you're saying. Not everyone's going to be a pro skier, kids, I'm sorry. Like there's limited
You don't
money.
want to be a pro skier. You're
And I
going
don't
to
know if
break
you
your
want
head,
to,
man.
it's oh man, some of the
You'll
guys I've
smash
talked to,
yourself.
oh
Yeah.
man,
Go
I
ski for
had
the fun of it. Don't ski. Don't hit that cliff because if you don't, you may not get a free pair of skis next year from your sponsor.
right.
Like, that's not why you go skiing.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah, I
skiing
think
for the fun of it.
and it's such an affluent sport, right? There's money in the sport, and there's plenty of opportunity to work in the industry. Myself, for example, I work with skiers and snowboarders throughout the winter, so there's always creativity, and not exactly being on the mountain getting paid, but get paid to be on the mountain then like after work or getting involved for sure. Now I recently had on Simon Dumont. Actually, he came on and he hasn't done hardly any media at all. I was actually pretty shocked that he even replied.
Nice. How many videos are you do views do you get on one of these?
How many
Or
views? Not as many as I would like. The Simon one is getting more. I
how many is
started
that get?
this last winter. I had a knee injury and I was out the whole winter, so I just started shooting emails off to a few guys I had connections to, Tom and LJ and some of the line guys, and you know how they're all super chill and welcoming, and so they came on and the ball just kind of kept rolling and rolling.
Well, how many views do you end up getting? I'm curious.
A couple hundred probably, maybe a couple thousand. It's
Okay.
not much,
Yeah,
but
I'll hype it. I'll hype it. All right, cool. Well, you're getting some good answers out of me, so I can promote it. Just
yeah, yeah,
any
appreciate it. Yeah.
okay.
So
You're asking some good questions.
I was talking to Simon, and he's known. He's very. I don't want to say controversial. I don't know him as a person. I know him as the skier, right? But he was the competitor, right? Like the alpha competitor. And then he kind of, injuries and mental, and he had to step away, and essentially hasn't been back, minus a couple videos in Utah he's filmed. But he admitted to me that he really wasn't having fun, and
Yeah,
he said that he didn't do it for the skiing. He did it for the competition. He said he could have done any sport and been a hyper competitive athlete with it.
sure.
So when you see the competitive side of the sport, and I know you have some very high caliber athletes on your team that are filming and competing, what's your opinion now that you're a little bit older of like the competitive side of skiing, which can certainly be fun in a different way versus just going to chill with the homies or getting some clips and filming. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it all depends on what brings you joy. For me, I didn't ever got too much joy from putting pressure on myself to compete or be in a situation that I wouldn't otherwise be in, just for the sake of claiming something. But some people, that's everything, and that's great if it is. It's just not where I'm at. The challenge now with competitions is you have to be at such a high level, which is fine. It takes a shit ton of training, dedication, giving up so many other things in your life for so many years. Problem that I see is just the risk. Is it really worth it? It's like back in the day I mean, dude, I was in the first X Games on ski boards in freaking 98, and I did a 540 on the last jump. It was like a 15-foot table. It was the shortest. It was being like a baby park
Yeah,
now. I did a 540 and I won a bronze medal. The first, like my friend did a cork nine, Mike Nick, and he got gold. And it was like a
man.
20-foot table, dude, a 20-foot table. We weren't risking our lives. And for many
Right.
years after, you were just like, look, I'm going to one up it. I'm going to throw an extra spin. I'm going to get off axis. I'm going to look more stylish, whatever. Now, the shit you're doing, and if it goes wrong, you could be paralyzed. I mean, you always can. You can do that walking across the street getting hit by a car, of course. But it's just that, like, you have to drop in on that day at that time, whether the conditions are right or not. Those big mountain comps, especially. And it's like, what are you there for, dude? Like, you're there to win it. You're trying to one up everyone and blah, blah, blah. And it's just at the level it's at today, is it worth the risk? It's kind of unfortunate because it is a passion sport. Like you enjoy doing it. But man, it's gotten so gnarly. And you could say that about every damn sport.
Yeah.
It's just I kind of wish there was a portion of competition, and there is in the knuckle hawk, for example, But it's something that's just more about style and creativity. Like it wasn't about like I'm gonna drop a cliff that no one else is gonna do right now because it's gnarly conditions and it's dangerous as shit. Instead, it's just like watch what I'm gonna do off it, which is feels like what it was back in the day when I was deeper into it with the whole original line team. You know, we were like, look at how steezy I'm gonna make this trick look. It wasn't like I'm gonna go so big that I will die and if I don't stomp it, and therefore no one else will do it, and therefore I am now presenting myself as the best. It wasn't that. It was like, look how corked I'm getting, how steezy I am, and my skis are parallel. I'm holding the grab the whole time. It was about style. It was about creativity. That's what was winning, not death-defying, stunts.
Yeah, I think the specialization of sports, we call it in the rehab realm, it creates a lot more adolescent injuries. We've been seeing that over the last 2 decades explode, Achilles, ACL,
Mhm.
rotator cuff issues, elbow issues with throwers, and it's because these kids are doing club sport, whether it's skiing or whether it's baseball, right? But it's all year round. Whereas when I grew up, I did floor hockey, I did flag football, soccer, skiing in the winter, the basketball in the spring. Like it rotated. Like we weren't doing one thing all the time, and I think it's because sports are more accessible now in a way. It's not a bad thing to get more people involved, but more people involved then creates more competition, more money as far as, the cost of doing some of these
Well,
things.
it's more pressure. It's more pressure on you to
Right.
do something when you normally wouldn't,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I
That can
agree.
be
And
risky.
I think when you see the guys back in, the 2000s, they were doing every event more or less, right? Like they could compete in pipe if they wanted. They could do slope style. Like you think of Tanner and Simon, those battles where
Totally.
they would do both, and they could, Tanner's doing big mountain. I was trying to tell Simon, I'm like, dude, you could do some big mountain. I'm sure we'd love to watch it, and he's just shutting it down. But yeah, it was just different back then. Like I think skiers could do everything and compete, whereas now you got the half pipe guys, you got the slope guys, you got the big mountain guys. What'd you think of Nick Gepper coming back and doing the pipe? I know he's a kind of a funny guy. I'm hoping to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. I mean,
Yeah, so
dude, for
cool.
sure. Like, I mean, he found a niche on like social media to
Yeah. Oh
be,
yeah.
a marketing voice as well, which is even harder. Honestly, that's like harder than being Olympics. And it's like, so yeah, just awesome. I mean, it came back to creativity. Like he's creative off of skis as well, creative marketing mind as well, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, it was fun to watch him in the Olympics.
Yeah.
All rooting for him. With some of the changes that we're talking about in the ski industry over time, there's fads that come and go. Something that might excite you going forward, maybe the next 5 to 10 years that you see in the industry.
Something that excites me. People ask me, hey, what's next? Stuff like that. I mean, there's been
Yeah.
a lot of evolution in the last 20 years. It's tough to see what that next thing would be. I would hope that it would come back to like I was saying, creativity and style more than death-defying stunts for Instagram. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping that rail jams get more
That's true. That'd be
popular.
cool.
I mean, talk about a great event. And our small resort puts on two or three every winter. There's like 50 to 100 kids. The little Groms are out there. They're throwing down. We got the old guys that were just trying not to get hurt. And everyone's hanging out. And it's about style, creativity. Like, you can't really send it huge, right? Because it's a couple down bars and a tube. And oh man, it's so much fun. And I'm glad Tom's still he's putting his on. I've been trying to get some of these other guys like, man, we need more rail jams at small mountains because, some of the rail skiers would surprise you how good, in the middle of nowhere some of these kids are with the rope tow parks and such. It's a
No,
lot
that's
of
awesome.
skill, and it's definitely needed for
And it's
sure.
low risk, it's not death-defying stuff to like it's
Yeah,
creativity, it's
and
crowd
it's
pleasing.
attainable, right? Like you
Yeah,
can
the crowd can
most
get into it. You can interact with it,
yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, and you can, most skiers can hit a rail of some sort, right? And not that
yeah,
you got to do anything crazy on it, but you're part of the competition and having fun and throwing down, and
yeah.
yeah, it's fun. We did a few this year that were a lot of fun, and I was pretty much the oldest guy at 33. There might have been a one guy older than me maybe this year, but
Yeah, man.
it's fun. How often are you getting out to ski now, Jay?
Probably twice a week. I'll
Nice.
go 2 weekday mornings or one weekday morning, one weekend. That's my goal anyway. And yeah, so I like to ski in the trees a lot now. Like I used to obviously be a park kid back in the day, and like now I just love finding a stash in the trees and noodling my way through, just see if I can get first tracks everywhere, hot laughing it like that,
Love
or
it.
hitting some tables in the park, just straight air and shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
I love it. Do you do any fitness training, any strength training to keep yourself on top of things, or is it mostly like we said, just getting in shape while you're skiing?
no, I run, try to run every day for like probably 25 minutes just in my neighborhood.
Nice.
I hate running, but
Yeah.
I have to run for two reasons. Like my head mentally, like with so much stress of the business, a seasonal business. I mean, it's a pretty tough business, honestly, even though I've been doing it this long. And it just clears my head so good on just everything. And then physically, my legs, I can ski better. I hate skiing when I can't ski the way I want. And so going for a run every day, it gets me far enough. I would like to do more upper body and stuff like that, a little more well rounded. But to be honest, I'm working around the clock still, man. This is a gnarly, like 6 month business. You know, you're trying to make it for 12 months, and it takes a lot of hustle. So, yeah, that's what I've done.
I think the hustle definitely shows in the quality of J skis.
I
I've never had anyone that disliked their J skis. Like
Cool. I appreciate that.
everyone
That's good.
loves them.
Good to hear.
At least that I've talked to. I actually haven't had a chance to ride them myself yet, but I'm gonna need some this winter, so I'll be hitting up the pre-sales and whatnot for sure.
Okay.
Getting something maybe a little bit wider than I'm used to out here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Sounds good.
I would love to hop on a pair. Yeah, we're excited.
Okay. Great to have you
What
repping.
what's the favorite ski that you've ever built? Is there one that you're particularly proud of? Maybe it's a certain graphic or a certain model.
I personally have been riding the escalator for like the last 4 seasons. I love that ski. It's like a 102 waist, really lightweight, but still solid enough to get to charge. And I can just noodle through tight trees. Like there's nothing
Nice.
on my feet. And, I'm an old man now. So it's just like less work. I can lay down carbs. It's like it's wide enough to float in the boot deep pow, which is about all we get out here in the ice coast, and it's narrow enough to lay down carves and throw tricks and stuff. So yeah, that's my ski. And as far as graphics, I got different favorites depending on the season. But I honestly been riding the same skis for 4 years. Like I
Nice.
don't even ride another model. Like my quiver is like one ski in the same. Literally every year I just bring it back out and I don't even retune it. Sometimes I think I tuned it once. So yeah, I'm not very particular on it.
Yeah. Hey man, if it
Or I just like what I like and I'm good with
yeah,
everything. I mean, like, oh,
yeah,
West, maybe I need a different ski, but the chance of me hitting a pow day is so rare out there. Like it's
right.
still the same ski. I'll bring the fatter ski. I'll bring like a slacker, and then I won't end up using it.
I think the dream for us is to hit out west and have a powder week, but it hasn't happened yet.
No,
I'll let
that's
you know if it
rare.
ever does.
Well, the time that I went out west and got POW, at Mammoth and Tahoe, two different times, dude, they didn't even they closed the mountain. It was just
It
like
was too
so much
much.
snow they couldn't open. It was
Yeah.
like you really don't want to go in the storm. You want to go when there's like 6 inches a day or a foot a day or something.
Right.
So it's funny like that or after the storm.
A couple days after a Tahoe
Yeah.
dump. Yeah. Yeah.
You really got to do it like with a 6 inch to a foot every day because every day will just get tracked out. As soon as there's a huge dump and then they drop the ropes, it's like that thing is whole mountain's tracked. It's the Palisades, because there's so many lifts.
Right.
But yeah, if you're there during a continuous snow, it's the best thing ever. It's like the ultimate backcountry terrain park.
Love it. With social media, do you feel like we can separate it into two questions? Has it helped J skis? And then do you think it's helped free skiing as a whole? And I have my opinion. I would love to hear yours.
Yeah, social media, it helps. I mean, social media is horrible for your health. Social media is awesome for marketing.
Yes.
That's what I think. For my brand, for the sport, for whatever it is. But man, it's the most unhealthy thing in the world. If you get sucked in, if you spend 2 hours a day staring at a scroll and you multiply that by a month, it's 60 hours in a month. That's a week and a half of work you could have
Yeah.
done at a job. That's a 40-hour a week job and a half. So, and don't get me wrong, before that, you're watching TV for 2 hours. So it's like, it's not like we're always, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're super high productive before social media, but I think it's just like, I think what's happening is it's manipulating the way you perceive the world because it's propaganda. And as a marketing guy, it's all propaganda. I see it straight through it. It's all propaganda. The news is not news. It's propaganda that they put content on there so that you will watch more of it, which means they have to put controversial content. They have to do things that get you angry, that leave you in suspense, just like a movie, so that you'll continually come back to it and come back to it to find out what happens next. Just like before the ad on the TV show, you know, they leave you in suspense so you see next, oh, there's something bad's going to happen or something bad happened. So that's how they make money by selling ads. They can't sell an ad if you're not watching. So the whole thing is just like one big manipulative trip, which is watch as a marketing guy. Like it's just insanity that like the human race is being controlled by it.
Extremely powerful. And I think on the skiing side of things, you see the high flying stunts and perfect runs. And, I go on my feet every day and it's like, wow, I'm kind of bad at skiing because look at all these kids. They're doing like triples and, they're out in Park City throwing on the mushy jump out there, throw doubles and triples. But that's a highlight of the top 1% of skill. It's not, I don't think it's representative of the sport, that as a whole. It's cool to see. I'm glad I grew up skiing back when it was like Step movie came out and Level 1 came out, and I only saw it once in a while. And I was never that skilled. But if I saw like this every day, like kids just crushing it, I'd be like, man, as a 14-year-old teenager trying to grow up, it would be hard on the self-esteem because I think it is a really perfect sport to build self-esteem, right? It's creative, it's not as competitive maybe, and it's, more artistic if you want to make it that way. But
Yeah,
I think
I
it's tough to see, but again, it's cool to see the progression every day too of the sport.
Yeah, but it also inspires you because sometimes, like, if I posted on our brand social in like the way it used to be done, where this dude's going on a heli ski trip and there's a red cam shooting super high rate slow motion shot of someone in perfect pow and like TGR movie style, no
Right,
one will watch that on social. It'll get no
right,
views. If
right.
I show a kid night skiing, his buddy's holding a vertical phone going like this, bouncing around. Kid barely lands a backflip and skis away. That'll go off. And
Yeah,
so all of our content, most of it is customers on our skis, real life things. And it's incredibly inspirational and powerful and relatable. And that's what does well actually for us. And that's what we push because we want to be real, again, skiing for the fun of it. Not to be some superhero is how my brand pushes. There's a lot of brands. There's the Armadas of the world and the others an Atomic of like, hey, this is your hero. You should aspire to be like this amazing skier. If you're not like them, you're not cool. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from like, hey, you got J's on your feet, you're on the team. And I'm going to promote your content. You're skiing at your shitty little mountain doing whatever, spread
right.
eagle on a 2 foot jump. I'm going to
Yeah,
post that on our social and be
yeah,
like,
man,
yo,
for
this is
sure.
what fun skiing is all about. So
Right.
that's how we're different in marketing. It's how we leverage social media in a completely different way than all the other brands and remind people that skiing, it's just skiing. Go ski for the fun of it, man. That's like what my brand's all about. So you appreciate the ability to do that through social media, but there's also the side, like you're saying, where it's like, if you're just saying be like this person or else you're a loser, that doesn't that's not healthy. You know what I mean?
It's
So I
yes,
think there is a balance of both, especially with friends posting their own stuff and being stoked on it, and there are
right.
friends getting stoked on it,
Yeah,
of
I
like
love it.
landing
Yeah,
my first 360 and shit. There's a lot of
yeah,
rallying around
man.
that feel good
So
stuff
much,
too.
so much stoke for sure.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
to see like I said, I'm one of the older heads out here now, and it's fun to see the little kids. They're throwing their back flips and front flips, and they're getting so hyped, and they're filming it and posting it. It's fun to see. Man, this has been fun, Jay. You're a man of the people, for the people. Jay
Word.
skis, one of the best to do in the industry right now. I'm gonna get some this winter for sure, and man, I appreciate your time. This has been a lot of fun.
Hey, thanks for having me. Enjoyed talking with you, and I hope to see you on the hill soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Jay.
All right. That